Hey, Brian, that sucks, man. I hope you're still here. If not, thanks for checking in. So, as you can see, I am not at the studio. I'm not at home. So, this is mostly being said for the replay because I'm sure it'll be a little bit. What's up, JP? So, I'm not sure you can tell, but I'm actually out at the drive ins. I'm in my car. Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Yeah, it's super bright and sunny. Luckily, it's not as crazy hot as it was. It was so hot for a stretch there for about a week, but now it's cooled back off. It's still in the 90s, but the 90s is fine. Like, I'm comfortable in the 90s. I'm not comfortable when it's 108, 109, 110. Like, that just sucks because it just never cools off. What's up, Joe? LAFC Beast, Joe Running. Question: what is the first movie that you found a bit. Where did it go? Question from John Running. What is the first movie that you found a bit too disturbing to get through? I don't think I've ever had a movie that I turned off because it was too disturbing. I remember the first like truly disturbing movie I remember seeing was Human Centipede, but that was kind of cool, and I ended up. Oh god, this glare is killing my eyes. Where did my sunglasses go? Um, but that kind of intrigued me. I don't think I've ever not finished a movie. It doesn't mean that it doesn't like bother me or disturb me or whatnot. Like, but I just don't turn it off per se. Like, I still want to finish and see what it's all about, see what it's trying to do and say, and you know, those. I mean, the only movies I really ever turn off is when they're just dumb, not good. They're not interesting to me or whatever. But it's not because it's too disturbing. LAFC Beast, put your hands around your neck. What's up, Anthony? I'm glad you were able to make it. It's 3:38 a.m. in the UK. Damn. What are you watching at the drive-ins? I'm gonna see Insidious: The Red Door again. My review of Insidious: The Red Door comes out tomorrow. So, question: Star Wars or Star Trek? I think I would go Star Trek, because it's not that I don't like Star Wars. You know, those are the original three Star Wars I grew up on and definitely love those movies. But I've loved numerous different versions of Star Trek. Like, I wouldn't call myself a Trekkie by any means, but there's just so many different intriguing stories that they did along the way, and so many seasons of just enjoyment. You know, but I mean, they're both iconic. They're both great in their different ways. But I also just really love William Shatner. Well, I'm glad you're here, Anthony. I try to. Have you seen Oppenheimer? No, I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, but I just got invited by I think it was Sony to see it, so I'm gonna go see it at the IMAX. So I'm really excited. I've never been to see a movie at the IMAX, as weird as that is. I never even thought about that until the other day when they invited me, and I was like, wow, it's at the IMAX, nice, cool. And then I realized I've never been to an IMAX screen. I've never seen a movie at IMAX, and that just tripped me out. I was like, how have I never seen a movie at IMAX at this point? My favorite slasher's got to be Halloween. Although Black Christmas is right up there. I also absolutely love um, uh, I just spaced on what movie I was going to say. But yeah, those two for sure. Oh, My Bloody Valentine was the third I was going to say. That's another one that I really love. Coolness, man. I might be going tomorrow to see it with Magatha. Oh, to go see. There's already an early showing? I thought it didn't even come out to the end of the month. Did you guys get like a special screening or something? Hand, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving. Oh, I don't know, understand what the pink waving means, but what's your opinion on Insidious Red Door? My review comes out tomorrow, so I don't want to say too much about it. Um, but I was mixed on it. There were things I really enjoyed and things I wasn't so crazy about. But yeah, my review comes out in the morning, so definitely check that out in the morning. Hi. I don't know. I got confused just by the pink waving part. Oh, maybe that's a GIF and it just doesn't show me that because I have I'm using StreamYard and not on YouTube. So I bet it. Did you write a GIF out or put a little waving hand or something? That's so weird. Because if that's what that is, then instead of showing me a little icon or a little GIF or whatever, it shows me just the words. Man, what is going on? Where is everybody? What's up, the boogeyman? I'm really feeling like my channel is dying, and that's really bothering me a lot. I mean, I haven't done a live in a week, and there's only 9 people here. Like, ouch. My video today is not doing well. This this Q&A is super great signal, really clear, nearly flawless. Nice. Um, I'll probably start doing it this way then, instead of because I've kind of gotten some stuff figured out. So um, instead of doing it from my landline or my Wi-Fi, I'll just connect to the 5G network. But it's also where my apartment is really like a apartment complex, so it doesn't get the greatest signal. But if you can't tell, I'm out at the drive-ins, so I'm not sure if you guys can see. I'm not supposed to shoot any screens. They'll like yell at me if I shoot a screen. But yeah, see, there's the one screen. I don't know if I can flip this camera around on here, but let's see. There's the screen that I'm looking at. But I got about an hour or so till the movie starts, so I don't think it's dying. It might be because you started it later than 7 p.m. Lots of East Coasters in the group. Um, Maybe, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I started it earlier last time, and it still wasn't getting very many people in here either. I just feel like I'm not. I don't think it's you guys at all. Just for some reason, YouTube is just shadow banning me, so to speak, or whatever you want to call it. They're just not sharing my content all of a sudden, and like they never share me a ton as it is, like compared to a lot of channels, but they're really, really not sharing me right now, and it just sucks. Oh, I won't give up on it. Don't worry. Uh, I wouldn't give up on it no matter what. Like, for one, it's my job. It's literally how I make a living right now. But it's just a lot of the reason why it's nerve wracking, because if nobody watches my videos, I can't afford to eat. I can't afford to survive. And I was just finally reaching a point where financially I was like, okay, you know, I I can eat a $15 lunch at Chipotle and not freak out. Hello, Marty. But I'm still super grateful for everybody that is here. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. Yeah, like I said, Joe, I don't think it's the people, because it's not like my retention rate is going down. If anything, that's going up, and my click through rate is going up. It's just they're not sharing, especially my lives. They just don't seem to be sharing it. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like horror people, and it's very very difficult. But then again, you have the Dead Meat channel, which is massive. You know, almost 6 million, or are they at 6 million now? Right around 6 million subscribers. Um, so I mean, it's possible to, and I don't care about getting millions. I just, I don't want to. I just don't want to shrink. I don't want my channel to die. Like, it's all good. I'm just, you can't help it when you work so hard on something and a lot of it is out of your hands. And, it's just kind of the ebb and flow of things, I guess. Who is Fingers? What do you mean, Who is Fingers? Oh, you talking about when I referred to the movie Fingers? It's a movie on Shutter. That mask that you were wearing in that picture reminded me of a scene from Fingers. It's a really fun movie though if you haven't seen it, over on Shutter. Or I think it's on Shutter. I'm pretty sure it was on Shutter. Yeah, it was on Shutter. I've talked about it on the channel before. I recommended it on a list before. Thank you so much, Deanna. Oh, thank you, Anthony. I don't. I mean, I don't control any of that, but I'm not trying to get famous. I'm not trying to get, millions of subscribers. Um, I would be. I don't know, but I also just kind of put targets in front of me at when, like right now, I just want to hit 25,000 subs. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like I'm used to getting a couple hundred subs a day, and I was 100 away from 25,000 subscribers like 3 days ago, and now I'm like nine away. It's just super weird, and I can't even look. I'm like 9 away. I could hit it on this stream, and I won't even know. And I've been watching it for like a couple days because like 25,000, yeah, 25,000 is actually a pretty big deal to me because I used to have a whiteboard in my studio area, and the first number I wrote down was 500. I hit that. The next number I wrote down was 1,000. I hit that. The next number I wrote down was 5,000. I hit that. The next number was 10,000. I hit that. Then the next number was 25,000. Now I'm hitting that. And the next one after this will be 50,000. And then the one after that will be 100,000. Like they're just goals and that I set, to try to get to. I mean, you don't have any control over it. You just work hard and hope that people enjoy it and hope that people keep subscribing and whatnot. But it's just like this important milestone for me. So 25,000 is actually kind of, something I've been like, I thought I'd get there because I was cruising along and then just, I don't know. I don't get it. The last videos did really well. So I don't know what's going on. I just dropped a list today. So there's 10 movies on Hulu that I recommend. Um, and then I'll have a new list next Friday for Prime Video. But which streaming service do you have that you're looking to find something to watch on? Thank you, Amy. But I think on your end, you'll only see it when it hits 25. Which I guess, yeah. So, yeah, if it hits 25. I mean, last I looked a little bit ago, I was like 9 away. So. I'm missing Joe Bob. Is anybody watching Joe Bob on Shudder, The Last Drive-In? I'm curious if I was right about the movies I picked. I just figured I'll watch it on the replay on Sunday. I was going to watch it, but I just wasn't feeling it being at home. So when I'm not feeling being at home, I'll come to the drive-ins to do some editing. See? You guys see the drive-ins? That right there is the cafeteria, and it burned down last year, like almost completely burned down, and then people raised money to fix it, and they made it way better. Yeah, I need to check that out. I saw and then also there's a movie on Prime that I need to check out soon called although I haven't heard anything good about it, but it's What's Wrong with the Children. So I need to check that out one too. I have a lot of movies that I need to check out. I pretty much only watch horror. Like, now that I've been going to the drive-in so much, I've been seeing stuff that's not horror, but mostly, where the hell is the camera on this? It's weird. I gotta hold it at like a weird angle to get it to, I don't know, it's strange. But anyway, like I have to look at it like side-eye. It's strange. I can't look at it straight. I guess that's better. But anyway, so yeah, I've been seeing more wide variety this year because I'm going to go to the drive-in so much. But usually I only watch horror. But mostly it's just because I only have the time to watch horror. It's like you can only watch so many movies, in my opinion, without getting burned out. I was getting your recommendations in my stream, so they are promoting you. That's cool. I guess it's just more of a slow. They've just been doing a thing, I think, where they're just kind of more slowly notifying people, and instead of like it's hard to know what YouTube's doing. Because a lot of times it feels like they're not pushing you at all, and then all of a sudden you'll explode, and they push you like crazy. So it's hard to not worry about it, but in reality, that is, I have to just not focus on it. Just not worry about it. I drive this, I have, the car I usually drive is a Tahoe, an old Tahoe, but I drive this little car. It's my sister's car. It's a little Kia. It's this little Kia. But I drive that one to the drive-ins because the drive-ins is kind of far from where I live. So I drive it because it gets way better gas mileage. Well, I'm glad to have you, Cian. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Yeah, I can't wait to see you talk to me as soon as it comes out. I've been trying to get an early screener to it, but they're not giving out early screeners really, at least not that I've been able to get. Which usually I can get them for most horror movies, but are there any horror podcasts you recommend? The Dead Meat Podcast. That's the best podcast, in my opinion, there is. Um, and there's a couple other ones that are okay. But to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the horror podcasts because like they just they just sit there and they shit on movies and like they it's like they just don't like anything. And it's I kind of get it because you get a lot you like you basically do better if you talk shit about movies than you do if you talk about movies you enjoy. A lot of times, at least that's kind of. Thank you. Yeah, I actually just got it at was it Walmart? So if you guys have a Walmart near you, it was like $8 at Walmart. It just dropped today, and then they also had a Ghostface one. I didn't get it, but they had a Ghostface one, and they also had a one that I did get an Exorcist one that I did get as well. So yeah, get out to your Walmarts and snag those bad boys up. You can't watch it because it looks scary. I've been doing a refresher on the Insidious movies, getting ready. Yeah, I on movie night because we do movie night over on the Discord, on the Ghost Pirate Discord, on Monday nights, and we've done the first two Insidious this past week or past 2 weeks to get ready for the new one coming out. So I definitely recommend rewatching the first two. You don't have to, because this movie does a really good job of showing you everything you need to know about them. Like it completely brings you up to speed, but it's still fun having those really fresh in your mind, like the entire movie, because this goes back to the Lamberts. It's the first one since the first two Insidious that directly deals with the Lambert family again. You don't have Walmarts in the UK? I thought there was Walmart in the UK. Yeah, Insidious 3 and 4 have nothing to do with this movie. They're kind of standalones. Thank you, Sinan. Man, I might actually need to wear a sweater tonight. It's crazy. It's been getting like, because in the day it's still getting pretty hot. It's in like the 90s, but at night it's been getting into like the 60s and stuff. Like actually pretty cool at night. Figured I'd get back in the car. You can hear me better, and I can. The glare is blinding out there, so this is less glary. Have you ever seen Grim Life Collective? Yeah, those guys are great. I really enjoy their videos. Like they're the best at traveling around. Like they go to everywhere. Like it's wild. I'm really curious how much they're ever at home, because it legitimately seems like they are constantly on the road. Yeah, I'm at the drive-ins. I'm gonna see Insidious, the Red Door again. So I like to do this a lot of times in movies because the first time I see them, like anytime I'm reviewing a movie, I like to see it again right afterwards, because the first time it's like for work, so I have to kind of think about all the things involved, what I'm gonna say, and all of that, where I don't get to just strictly enjoy it. So I like to see them again when I can just enjoy them. You know, something I haven't always done, but especially when it's at the drive-in, so I can kind of do some editing while I'm watching it. Yeah, that would be cool. They're a lot bigger than I am, but someday, so that's a lot of the reason why I want to get bigger. It's not about the money. Like for me, like a lot of people say that kind of stuff, but like legitimately for me, I don't care about being rich, like at all. I just want the opportunities, you know? I just want to meet the people, you know, and get to like get behind the scenes with movie stuff, get to go see these different locations where movies and different things were done, and just get to do things, you know? Get to meet the different people. Oh, thank you so much, the Boogeyman. You're awesome. I gave horns, but this one doesn't straighten out. But yeah, there we go. Maybe I have to do it at an angle so it looks like horns. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did check out Skinned. She's badass. Like, thanks for recommending that. Like, I love the visuals. Like, musically, she's okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a huge fan of her music. It's okay. It's I'm not. I just don't think it's amazing. But the visuals and like all the horror concepts are so badass in her videos. Yeah, I've been poor my entire life, so I'm fine with not being rich. Like, I don't give a shit. I've never really been someone that was like on a mission to become rich anyway. I'm, I'm like, you know, I grew up poor. My family was always poor. Like, I've never really tasted money, so I'm like, whatever. I just want to be able to do things. I just want to see things and experience things. Like, that's all that matters to me. And like, I'm sure a lot of people say that kind of stuff, but I genuinely mean it. And I also mean that about fame. I had a rock star laying around here. Hold on. I'm going to put you guys down for a second. Sorry, I had a rock star that went rolling off. Trying to balance this so I can open the rock star. There we go. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of people say stuff like that and don't really mean it, but I'm not young. Like when I was young, it was different, you know? You have all these you see people that are rich and famous and they seem so cool and you're just like, "Oh, I want that life," you know? Like when I was young, I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be rich and famous and be a rock star. But now that I'm older, like I don't care about any of that. I really don't. You know, I want friends. I want to go meet people and see things and experience things. I don't care about clout at all. Like if I could go and experience all that without being any more famous or rich or any of that, I would be just fine with that. Thoughts on Dead Alive, one of my all-time. Man, Dead Alive is awesome. I love that movie. It's so much fun. Yeah, it was on. What list was it on? Do any of you remember what list I put Dead Alive on? I think it was on my zombie not zombie list. Pretty sure it was on my zombie not zombie list. But it's just amazing. It's one of the most fun movies ever made. Yeah, if you were trying to change yeah, if you're trying to change the world, money isn't important. But when you get settled, you want connections. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I just figured out I can do that. This is so cool. I can highlight your guys' comments. I didn't know I could do that. I just got this, or just started using the software, so there's still things I didn't know I could do. All right, I was right. It is Mad God. I knew it. I called it earlier. I said it was going to be Mad God. Does he have Phil Tippett on there? I'm excited to rewatch that on Sunday. Um, but no, I called it. I said they were gonna do Mad God, and then let's see if my second pick was right because I said they're gonna do Blue Ruin as the second part. I was hoping they would do Heavy Metal, but I don't see it on Shutter, so I don't think they'll do Heavy Metal. But that would be so cool. I'd love to hear Joe Bob talk about Heavy Metal. Yeah, it is. It is so expensive. Just like Return of the Living Dead as a VHS, I really, 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 really want. But it's like hundreds of dollars, or at least $100. I forget last time I looked, but like I love VHSs so much. I want to get more, but I just don't have the money to buy them. They're so expensive. So it was on the zombie not zombie list. So thank you. So if you're curious to hear me talk more about it, check that one out. So he so Phil Tippett is on there. Nice. Really excited to hear him talk to him about it. Yeah, Tucker and Dale versus Evil is amazing. That is seriously one of the best horror comedies ever made. I think it's so wacky and different than most, but yet it's still very much a horror comedy. I love that movie. Yeah, it is. I remember the first time I ever got stoned, we watched Heavy Metal. And I've always loved that movie. I've seen that movie so many times, especially when I was a teenager. Like we used to just like literally in the summer, like every day, we'd get stoned and watch that. Or we'd watch James and the Giant Peach. We'd get stoned and watch James and the Giant Peach or Heavy Metal. Like those. Oh, and The Wall, Pink Floyd's The Wall. Those three movies. It was like we always rotated between those three over and over and over. What's up, James? Have you ever seen Doghouse? No, I haven't. I didn't. I don't think I've ever even heard of that. What is Doghouse? I haven't seen Evil Hand either. Wow, that's a trip. Very rarely do I hear of two movies back to back that I've never heard of. I'll have to keep an eye out for those. Messed you up, man. It's been so long since I've seen The Wall. I I don't know if I've ever watched it sober either. Like legitimately, I think I've always been stoned on something or drunk every time I've watched that movie. It's like I've seen Heavy Metal sober and I've seen James and the Giant Peach sober, and those movies are great. But I don't think I've ever seen uh, The Wall sober. That's funny. What's my favorite 1960s horror movie? Um, ooh, I'm trying to remember. Is Invasion of the Body Snatchers the original? Is that from the 60s or is that 50s? It's probably Psycho because that's 60s. Although, oh, Peeping Tom would have to be right there. If Peeping Tom isn't number one, it's definitely up there as one of my favorites for sure. So was the 50s? Yeah, it's like late 50s, huh? So yeah, I'll pick yeah, either Psycho or Peeping Tom. It would be one of those two off the top of my head. But I also get 50s and 60s movies mixed up. So it's tough because man, I'm trying to think cuz the other one that is I cannot think of the name, but it's like right there. But I don't know if that's. I think that one might be 50s movie. But I'm trying to. I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. It's like, oh, it's a very famous movie. Maybe if I don't think about it for a second, it'll pop to my brain. Those are both good choices for to watch when you're high. Yeah, I loved Pearl. I am such a big fan of Pearl. I couldn't pick which one I liked more, X or Pearl though. Like they both very much felt like part of the same story, just like two halves to the same story. But I'm really excited to see the part three, Maxine, and they just wrapped shooting on Maxine, so I'm really excited. Like it's done being shot, now they're editing it. Like I can't wait to see it. Probably early next year. All right, cool. I'll definitely have to keep an eye out for it. No, I don't think so. I could have relatives out there though. I don't really know much of my relatives. I know most of my relatives are back east. Most of them are in the New York area, I believe. But I honestly don't know. Like I don't have a close family at all. Like it sucks. It's not the way I've ever wanted it to be, but it's just how it is. So I could definitely have some and just don't know it. Well, good to meet you, Tim Becker. I was alive for the Porn Valley era, and I was meant to see if they were able to capture that feel. What is Porn Valley era? I've never heard of a Porn Valley era. I'm guessing you're talking about the Debbie Does Dallas era and Deep Throat, right? Like when porn was mainstream for a minute. I've enjoyed some of American Horror Story, but I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen it all. Um, but I've really enjoyed some of the seasons. But probably the thing I enjoyed the most wasn't part of American Horror Story per se, but it was like American Horror Story Presents or whatever, and that was um, Nurse Ratchet, or just called Ratchet. Like I really, really enjoyed that show. Um, but I'm trying to think, what was another season? What was the other season I really liked? I don't know. I've just kind of seen bits and pieces of it. I was never really hugely sucked into that series. It felt a little too commercial, mainstream, not enough teeth on it for me. I prefer series that are not on mainstream channels because they're more gritty and you know they don't have to neuter themselves too much. Hey Gene, glad you're here. And glad you're off work. Take my horror expert card away. There's just too many movies. Like it's literally impossible to see everything. And I tried for a while watching like 25, 30 horror movies a week and I just got super burned out. And even as it is, I'm struggling to not get burnt out. You know, that's why I'd like to be putting more content out, but it's like you can only do so much. You just have to give yourself breaks. Otherwise, you get completely burned out and you just can't do anything. So I don't want that. And I'm hoping you guys don't want that either. So, but yeah, I try to watch as much as I can, but you only retain so much. You start to like lose the plots of the movies. They all start to kind of run together and be the same thing. It's really a weird thing to experience. And I don't think it's maybe that way for everyone. I know there's people that can watch a lot more horror movies than I do, but that's just how my brain works. Have you heard of Friday the 13th? Or they collect cursed things. I think it came out. I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I heard it wasn't very good, so I never really hunted it down. Series are always hard for me to watch. As much as I enjoy a lot of series, I just they're so time consuming. And when you're just doing it for whatever, then it's fine. But when you're doing it like this and you have to watch a certain amount and retain a certain amount and cover a certain amount on a regular basis, series are just really difficult. Like I'm trying to get through From right now, and as much as I enjoy it, it's like I keep getting interrupted because I have to watch movies for this or for that, do a review on this or whatever. Have you ever seen Mad Monster Party? It's from Rankin and Boss, who did the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special, some stop motion animation. Boris through the voices in it. I feel like I've seen it, or yeah, I have seen that. Why am I not thinking that's what it's called though? I thought it was called something else for some reason, but yeah, I've definitely seen that. I love it. I recommended it on one of my list for, I think it was for Prime Video a while back, but I could swear it had a different name. But I'm probably misremembered. But maybe it's got a different name depending on where it's at in the country or something. The era when porn was shot in San Fernando Valley era. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean then. Was just going more mainstream, or at least more accessible to those than VHS. Yeah, which is where Maxine is supposed to take place, I believe. Maxine is going to be in the VHS, porn VHS era. Who would win in a fight with Jason, Freddy, and Michael? I always put my money is always on Freddy because he's got powers. Like, yeah, I don't know if Jason can be killed, but Freddy literally can do anything. And he's also got the wit. He's the smartest of those three. And so I feel like he always would figure out a way to win in the end. It's like even in Freddy versus Jason, when Jason gets help from everybody, and still you think he's killed Freddy, and then at the end, Freddy winks. So you're like, okay, well, Freddy is still probably alive. And that was when Freddy was brought into our universe. So, yeah. My brain is a file cabinet. I wish, man. Mine used to kind of be a filing cabinet, but now it's just a busted open filing cabinet. Like, just stuff falling out everywhere. Hey all, I need a good horror movie recommendation to watch tonight on Prime, but it's got to be good. Prime. Well, they just put Megan on there. So if you haven't seen Megan yet, that's a good one. But I've done a bunch of Prime lists, so I would just go back and watch any of my Prime videos. I've done a bunch of them, but also Prime is next week's. So a week from today, I have a new Prime list dropping. But I just dropped a Prime list a couple weeks ago too. So I think all of those movies are still available on Prime. Let's see. I'm trying to think what's something on Prime. I don't know. It's hard for me to remember the movies. Yeah, I mean, Smile's on there, Megan's on there. Like a lot of the big, like Black Phone's on there. A lot of the big horror movies from last year are on there right now. I've been watching Dr. Wolfula, P. Y'all's advice, and it's amazing. I'm a huge Dr. Wolfula fan. I love him. He's such a good guy, too. I've reached out to him a few times, and he's always really helpful and really sweet. He's just a really, really good guy. Yeah, I love Smile. Smile's a damn good movie. You came for the nuts. Yeah, let's get nuts. I was curious if anybody would call me out on that reference. All right, so I have this package from somebody that I need to open up. So I'm gonna try to see if I can prop you guys on the hood or something. So let's see if I can put this here. Alright, can you guys see me okay? So I can open this. So it says from eBay. I don't know who it's from. Because it says who it's shipped from, but I don't think that's who it's from since it says eBay. I'm thinking that's just who shipped it, but not who purchased it. So we'll see. Let's see if I can see if there's maybe a letter or something in here that'll give me a little more info. I wish I had a knife. I should have brought scissors or something. But luckily a big sharp key helped. It's really interesting that it says eBay on it. I didn't know you could order something from eBay and I guess you could send it to whoever you want, right? It's packaged up really well. It had a big piece of cardboard on top. Oh, what the fuck? Dude! This is crazy. Look at this, guys. It's a Jim Henson's Muppets. Look at that. This is so dope. All right, please don't bend. And then on the bottom, it had this. I had stuff falling everywhere. All right. 3C's Auto. Okay, there's nothing in here. So I think that's just who, it's just so it knows who it, so I know who it's from. So it says Josh Birch. So I hope that's who it's from. I don't see any letter or anything. So thank you so much, Josh Birch, if that's who sent this. If one of you guys sent this and it's not Josh Birch, let me know. Because I don't want to give credit to someone else. But this is incredible, dude. Like, I love the Muppets. And I love that this is not my normal, what you would think normally you would send me. Like, this is so me. Because I like weird shit. And, like, look at the little fucking ghost. Look at this. It's so fucking rad. And I also need opinions on if I should open it or not. I'm not going to do it right now, but like if I should take it out and put it on display on the shelf like I have been, or if it should be just hung in and kept in the package. And I'd love whoever sent this to let me know too. Like if it's Josh Birch, that. Let me know if your intentions were for me to keep it in the package or open it, or... That is so cool. All right, now I got to go back. See. Yeah, I love B-rated movies, or B-rated movies too. Question. Don't know if you remember it or not, but there was a cool cartoon called Groovy Ghoulies when I was a kid. One character was a vampire, and I think there was a werewolf. It sounds super familiar, but I'm not going to lie, I don't remember it off the top of my head. But I also didn't get to watch TV when I was a kid, so got a hold of an 80s Gore Fest Blu-ray, The Demon Rook. Huh. That movie sounds familiar, but I don't... It sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen that either. You're right, I'm a nut. Yeah, I loved Evil Dead Rise. I saw it here at the drive-in like, I think 6 times. It's the second most I've seen any movie at the drive-ins. Like, I saw that movie so many times and it just didn't get old. I was just enjoying it the whole time. I never carry around knives, or I don't have any weapons at all. I think I used to have like a this little like a ninja sword thing that this guy made me one time, but that's in storage. But yeah, I don't have any knives. Hey Kanan, I had it on the list already, but on your recommendation, I finally watched A Wounded Fawn. Great effing movie. Yes, I 100% Agree. I loved that movie. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful, like artistic, creative kind of movie that it's the kind I talk about all the time that are not for everyone. Like a lot of people would not dig that movie, but for people that enjoy artsy, creative kind of movies, it's fantastic. It's just weird and and slow burn and that art house type of movie. Just realized I'm at the drive-ins. Yeah, we almost didn't. I was telling everybody a little bit ago that this place. Let's see if you can see back there. Back there is the the concession stand thing. It burned down last year, and there was talk for a while that it was going to be bulldozed and that we were going to lose it, but luckily we were able to keep it, and I'm so glad because I love this place. Like I live here. I come here like 2-3 times every week. Thank you. I was saying earlier that I just got this from Walmart today, so definitely get out to your WalMarts and pick these up. It's like $8, and then they also had a Ghostface one and an Exorcist one, and I didn't buy the Ghostface one because I already have a bunch of different Ghostface shirts. Plus, it wasn't I don't know, it wasn't the greatest Ghostface shirt, but the Exorcist one I had to grab as well. Yeah, did you see the picture of the house being built? Like they're building, the house from Beetlejuice, and there's a bunch of pictures floating around of them building it, and it looks so fucking great to be seeing that be resurrected. Like I can't wait for Beetlejuice 2. I really hope it's good. I know I'll probably have fun with it regardless, but I hope it's really good. My goodbye message was too long. Happy to once again gift some memberships, renew them. See you on Discord. Thank you again, Jing. Oh man, I would have loved to have seen that at the in the theater or at the drive-in. Or not. I saw Extends for the first time last year when I was binging all of the Cronenberg movies. I finally checked that one out. Such a great movie. Thank you so much, Tiffany. You're awesome. Thank you. No, it's not really a field. It's not actually at all in a field. It's right next to our main freeway, and like it's in the heart of the city. It's just big. Like like basically. I'm trying to see what you're thinking looks like a field, but like right there is the cafeteria, and on the other side is another 3 or 4 screens. So like it's pretty big. There's screens all the way around. See? I think what you're thinking is like a field is actually the sunset. It's just the way the light is hitting it looks almost like fields, but it's actually right in the heart of the city. I love that movie. It's one of the most fun Cronenberg movies. It's not like his weirdest one, but it's one of the more fun ones, I think. I need to rewatch the Saw movies because Saw was one of those movies that one came out every single year, and so every Halloween that was just tradition. You went and saw the Saw movie, like a lot of people did. Um, and so I only saw most of them just that one time. And honestly, I just don't remember most of them. It would have to be one or two though, as far as which one, um, off the top of my head, would be my favorite. But if I rewatch them all, that might change. The only one I definitely believe would be not my favorite is Spiral. That's my least favorite. But I mean, if I rewatch them all, who knows? Maybe that would change too. But that was the only one that I left the theater going, okay, this was just annoying. I was not a fan at all of. I thought Chris Rock was way overacting in it, and I'm just not a fan of that movie. Uncut, commercial, right here, free, right here on YouTube. Really? Yeah, it's like it doesn't get dark here till about 9. So we're about like our first movies start at 9:30, like 9 or 9:30 here. So it's about the same. And then we still have back to back movies though. Like if you want, you can watch movies until like 2, 3 in the morning here. I don't know what that means. A busket. I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, it's good. I mean, I always like Cronenberg movies. Some are better than others, but I always enjoy them. But on one level, he's just such a creative person. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that you did find the channel. A year, that's more than a lot of people, because this channel was much, much, much smaller a year ago. I did love the improv scenes. All right, so I only have a little bit left before I gotta go because they'll freak out on me if I'm recording while the movies are going, even if I'm not recording the movie. So hit me with some questions if you got them. Let's do about 20 minutes of Q&A before I wrap this up. So give me some good questions. Thank you, Sinan. Really, from the bottom of my heart. Anybody that sends money is on God tier level because I am so appreciative. Like you guys don't understand how much that impacts me on like just so many different levels because I don't know. It's hard to even express. It's like when I sit down to eat food and I think about all the people out there that work hard for their money and that have donated their money to make it to where I can eat, make it to where I can keep doing this channel and just focus on this with all my time and energy, and it just means a hell of a lot to me. It was about a kidnapping gone wrong with an old man that had the creature underground in a shed that was killing her. That sounds really interesting. I don't know what that is though. It was on Netflix. Huh. Good night, Diane. Tonight, I have what I have a lot of nights. I have my yogurt, my white fudge flips. And then I have my Diet Rockstar. And then I will probably, well, possibly go get a popcorn. I haven't decided yet, but I'm trying to, like, I can't do any cardio right now because of my stupid foot, and so I'm trying my best to not eat shitty. Like, it's a losing battle, but I'm trying my best to not eat too bad. And I'm gonna hopefully start going to the gym here very soon and trying to just do what I can. But it's hard because I have to stay off my foot as much as possible. Um, it's doing okay this week. They saw a little progress in healing, which is good because last week I was discouraged feeling because I didn't really see any progress. But this week it's back to showing some progress. So that was very encouraging. I still got probably a long ways until I'll be able to walk around normal without this stupid boot, but it's still very encouraging um, to feel like it's at least progressing again. I don't find much of anything scary. Although there was one scene in this new Insidious Red Door, and I forgot to mention this in my review actually, but it's one of the only scenes that actually got to me in a scary way that I can remember in so long. And I don't really want to spoil anything, but it has to do with when the main character is in the hospital getting his head evaluated. There's some different things going on, and during all of that, there's this one part that is just, dude, like, and I know that it's probably a personal thing because I've had a lot of different medical procedures done, very similar to what this character's getting done, but it just hit me hard, man. Um, but on the inverse, I'm not a huge fan of gore for the sake of gore. Like, I feel like gore should be for a reason. If it's, sometimes it's for humor, or sometimes it's to add intensity. Like, I love gore when it's done right, but that means it needs to have a purpose. Um, so if I only could pick one of the two, it would probably be the scary films, although it's hard for me to even know what scary means. But I would just assume that that's more to do with suspense and atmosphere. And so I would always take suspense and atmosphere over gore. Always. But that doesn't mean I don't love gore. I don't think that there's things should be gory. Like, I'm all for gore as well. Thank you so much, James. No, that's huge, man. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Watched Canadian original zombie movie Blood Quantum. Blood Quantum is a damn good movie and one that's really under the radar. Like, not a lot of people talk about that. That's on Shudder. If anybody hasn't seen that, definitely check that out. It's really cool because it's from the Native American, or from a Native American, like, basically it's about zombie thing is, the zombie virus is out, and the only people that are like immune are the Native Americans, and so it deals a lot with this interesting angle on things with racism and Native Americans, and I think it's a fantastic movie. So good call. No, Insidious Red Door would not. I wouldn't even give it a highly recommend. But I did have fun with it. My review will be up tomorrow morning. I did have fun with it. I do think it's worth seeing, but I'm mixed on it, and I would say it would be entertaining movie that I think you should. It's an entertaining movie that I think is worth checking out. That's that's its status. Like that's how I would rate it. So anybody that watches a lot of my videos should know what that means, and it basically just means like a middle of the road. It could have been better. It had potential to be really really good, but it but it has some scenes. It has some scenes and some visuals that are amazing, that are just awesome. But just in general, it's just a middle of the road movie. Yeah, The Shed is another one that's really good on Shudder. I recommended that a while back as well. Very fun. It's much more of a. It's not like it's got humor, but just in general, it's kind of just a fun horror movie, if that makes sense. But I really like that one too. Yeah, I loved Sweet Run, Sweetheart Run. Yeah, I recommended it on Prime List. Actually, I've twice. I think I've recommended it on Prime List, at least once. But I liked it a lot. I need to watch Run Rabbit Run though, which just dropped on Netflix, and I've been meaning to watch it. Um, I don't know. I need to sit down and watch that movie. Like I keep forgetting to watch it. I've just been doing all. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know where my time goes. I feel like I'm always working on the channel, but I don't know on what. I'm always editing or doing something like working on thumbnails, doing research. Like I said, just got this new software for the live stream. I'm still learning how to use it. Yeah, I agree. But it wasn't that I even had issues with. Like, I talk more about it in my review, but it was just the way a lot of stuff was written. There was a lot of things where they were just playing fast and loose with the rules and stuff that just didn't make sense, that were like massive holes where it's like, so since when can we do that magical power, kind of thing. And just a lot of things that were like just kind of cheap to me. Wow, wow, Wes, thank you so much. Okay, I love your list and shout along. Grab your popcorn and your candy and enjoy. Hell yeah. I always think about, like, when I say it, I always hear you guys in my head saying it with me. Like, I know that probably sounds super silly, but I really do. Because I feel like as a group, we do these. As a group, we do this together. Yeah, the shed's a fun one. I think you'll have fun with it. Marvel's Midnight Suns. Huh, that's a cool name. Has some Marvel superheroes in it, plus magic and demons. I was thinking of you the other day when I was playing it. Man, I really want to start gaming. I don't have a gaming PC. I have an Xbox One, but it's on like its last legs. This thing is old, man. Like I got this thing like not too long after they first came out, and I'm still using it. So I don't know. I really want to get a new Xbox one of these days or a PlayStation and just start doing some gaming. RoboShark. I feel like I saw that one. I know. I saw a bunch of. I watched a bunch of really bad shark movies a couple summers ago. They did a video, and it was like, um, my 10 worst shark movies on Tubi or 10 shark movies on Tubi or something like that. And I watched some really bad ones. It was fun. I think it was 10 shark movies on Tubi, and it was like 5 that were the worst and 5 that were the best. I think is what I did. Yeah, I really am gonna watch. I definitely am gonna watch it because I'm gonna be making, like, start working on another Netflix list pretty soon. Yeah, and remember, horror can be fun. Have you ever watched the Horror Geek? I don't like him because he tells the whole movie. Um, yeah, I've watched the Horror Geek, and I don't like to talk shit about YouTubers because one, a good friend of mine does his editing, but I'm not a huge fan of his channel, to be honest. Like, uh, my issues with him was that I just felt like he was, especially in the beginning, he was very much doing exactly what the Dead Meat channel did. Like, he was literally like, even the cadence that James A. Genies, who does Dead Meat, like the way he says the videos, like, even it just felt, and it was so scripted, and even still, like, I don't know. I mean, I get writing a script, but it just is. It's like a personal choice thing. But for me, script when someone's reading a script constantly, like in their whole video, it just starts to get annoying. But that's fine. I mean, I don't have to like his videos. He's doing fucking great. He's doing better than I am. So whatever. I mean, he can afford to have an editor. Like, that's a big deal. But my buddy Jay, who has a fantastic channel of his own, uh, unfortunately, his first channel is just died, and none of us even know why. But it's Bloodbath and Beyond, and it just stopped getting views. But he has another channel, Bloodbath and Beyond TV, that you should definitely go check out. Um, I love his channel. He talks about nothing but bad B-rated movies, and it's just B-rated horror movies, and it's just a lot of fun. Thank you. I watched a terrible werewolf movie recently. I've watched part of Alpha Wolf. I don't remember if I watched the whole thing, but yeah, that's a bad movie. It's fun though. It's that Sharknado level movie. Okay, I've heard mixed on it though. I've heard a lot of people. I've heard nobody say that it was a bad movie. Just that some people loved it. Some people were like it was just okay. Either way, I really want to see it. It's anytime Netflix does anything new horror wise, it's like a must see because I'm hoping one of these days they'll start pushing horror more. I have not seen, like I talk about all the time. I struggle with watching series because of the time commitment. I really I really need to catch up on Black Mirror. I don't even think I saw season 5. Like, I love all of the Black Mirror that I've seen. I just, like I said, it's hard to deal with the time commitment for me a lot of times. My pleasure. Thank you for hanging out with me. So, have you seen the Markiplier is making a horror movie? Markiplier is? No, I didn't see he was. I know Chris Stuckman is. Well, that's cool. The more money that goes to horror, the better. Yeah, season 6 just dropped of Black Mirror. And I've had quite a few people mentioning that you should check it out. So, Five-Headed Shark was fun. All those ones are fun. Those are all Asylum. They're bad but fun. All right, guys. I'm gonna cut it because I need to use the restroom before this movie starts, and I got probably like 10 minutes or so before it starts. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, and everybody for donating. I appreciate everything, your time, your money, your passion, enthusiasm, all of it. If you haven't watched my video that dropped today, please go watch it because YouTube is not sharing it, or for whatever reason it's just not doing great, and so I really need you guys to check it out, and hopefully YouTube will start pushing it. But I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for hanging with me. I'll see you guys next time.